Good evening. Yeah, there was no picks today. I got stuck out of town. Had to delay return one day. We'll have picks tomorrow. All right, as we can see what's happening here in the market, we had a little shooting star today in the Dow, and the NASDAQ, as you can see, opened, even though it closed higher, it's still, it was still a weak signal in the sense that it closed back below the, where they were open, or where they opened it today. So that kind of told you there were some sellers in the markets today. S&P 500, kind of the same scenario. Which tells us that maybe you're going to see a little bit of profit taking for the next couple of days. Some of the influences, like crude oil. You can see crude oil is still in this steady uptrend, trading at about the $71 area. And we will be shorting on weakness live cattle tomorrow. Notice the evening star signal failure right here at the 50-day moving average. So if it's breaking this kind of trend, we're going to anticipate that this is wave 1, wave 2, potentially wave 3 to the downside. Yeah, maybe today was a test. All right. So some of the positions we have. Let's make these bigger again. SSW. Did a little dark cloud today, so again, I want to be a little bit more sensitive to the fact that if they open some of these lower tomorrow, might want to take some profits. Let's see, pink, still moving up nicely ever since the kicker signal. Now we're starting to see a little bit of exuberance, so have your safety stop in here. Sangre, ever since the belt hold, breakout, nice looking chart. You continue to stay long on this one. AMD, I know some people have been trading this one. You want to stay long on this one until you see a sell signal and a close. It looks like they've already consolidated yesterday or Friday back to the 200. Needed to open positive today to stay long, which it's doing. SIEN, another one where you just stay long. Now you can see that you've got some selling going on here, but today's doji is a good illustration for how or what to expect for tomorrow. They're probably going to move it in the direction of how they open it tomorrow, which gives you a little bit of more insight as to whether there's going to be profit taking or continuing the uptrend. WAIR, stay long, as long as this stays above the T line. And Tile Store or Tile Shop, this has lost everything. So if they don't open this positive tomorrow, probably want to close out the position because it's telling you the potential of investor bullish sentiment has kind of disappeared. Staying long on ESB, that's one of the oils. Same scenario with SRCI. There was a bearish engulfing. If this opens lower, as a trader, you might want to close it out and see if it's going to be coming back to the T-line like over here, but then you wait to see if it holds at the T-line to start coming back in again. YEX, you can see the shooting star. You can see you've moved a little bit away from the T-line, so I'd be a little bit more cautious that if it opens lower tomorrow, look for some profit taking. VRX, same scenario. I'd probably use today's low as a stop, but if they came down through there, that would be a good confirmation that the profit taking is in progress. You want to stay long on RETA. Ever since the belt hold left-right combo J-hook pattern off the 200, you stay long, and notice what it did today. Came all the way back, used the T-line as support, and came back up. So you still want to stay long on this one. Square did a little left-right combo. If this opens lower tomorrow, they're bringing it back to the T-line. So if you're trading this one, it needs to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. And VEEV, another bullish or bearish engulfing signal. Where did this occur? Right at the same level it topped out before. So to stay in this one, it has to open positive and trade positive. If it opens lower, it's just confirming the sell signal that it occurred at the same level that it couldn't get up through before. So going after some of the sectors, look at Labu. That's a nice fry pan bottom breakout at the 50. Nugget, kind of sideways, so there's really not a whole lot there to go after. Crude oil, though, is still in this steady uptrend. So that quick analysis kind of gives us the format or the where we want to be going. We'll get back to some of those, meaning we can easily pick out which sectors are acting the best just based upon their ETFs showing us which way or which ones are moving in the right direction, which sectors are moving in the right direction. Netflix, nothing to get excited about here. NVIDIA holding up, not anything powerful, but after the earnings of the Friday, where they opened it lower, but then kept it right up in this range, probably still tells you there's still some more upside in this one, but they aren't showing any signals selling it off. Amazon, getting a little bit queasy up here also. It's still in an uptrend, but not much of an uptrend. If it opens lower tomorrow, I'd probably be trading something else. And Apple, kind of the same scenario. Bearish Harami, which tells us the buying has stopped. And what other little clue did we have that we might start looking for a sell signal? Notice how they gapped it up on Thursday in the overbought area. That little gap up told us start watching for a sell signal. The exuberance is coming in here at the top. And Tesla having a hard time getting up through the 50. Notice the evening star signal right here. This is a good indication they're probably coming back down at least either to this level or to this level. So that puts Tesla in an area to be short. So if I'm looking at something like this, Labu, deciding whether I should trade Labu, at least it's given me the impression or the indication that stocks in that sector should be acting well. We can see Omar kind of broke through the resistance level of the 200 with a kicker type signal. So if everybody and their brother was watching to see what was happening here at the 200, we have the benefit of knowing they went through the 200 with great enthusiasm. AUPH did nothing except looked like it did a kind of a wedge squeeze here, and then has broken out nicely. Let's make this a little bit smaller. So that's one to keep an eye on. Derm, you can see the fry pan bottom, and you can see it's still holding up above the 50. You still buy Omar here? Ooh, boy. What do I want to do? I want to take. You can. You can see there was a resistance level right down through this area. But they've broken through. So if you're buying, yeah, you just have to be a little bit more observant as far as watching where you want to put a safety stop. Crisp, notice it's sitting right here on the resistance level. Kind of a wedge formation. Oh, pshaw. Well. So you can watch this to see if you've got a wave 1, wave 2 going into a wave 3 breakout. CNCE, another biotech that has a potential breakout. So the reason we're looking at these is because if Labu is telling us that that sector is acting strong, now we want to go and see which ones of those biotech type stocks have the best looking charts. ABEO, good J-hook pattern setup. And AKBA. You can see the fry pan bottom, now the breakout, and we're sitting right here at the 50-day moving average. If it breaks through there, where do you think your next target is? More than likely filling the gap up in this area. So the same thing can be said that if we know that crude oil prices are still heading up, that our recommendation a while back on CRZO, you stay long until you see a sell signal. Good profits in this one so far. Whiting has a nice steady eddy. All you have to do with this one is stay long as it stays above the T line. There's your fry pan bottom breakout. Look for a 45 degree on REGI. EGC looks like it can be bought with it kind of supporting the 50-day moving average. I'm sorry, the T line. Thank you, Rick. And tell another J-hook pattern. Wave 1, wave 3 should take you up into, I would guess, about the $14 area. All right, some others that looked good. CAVM, there's your kicker signal. Start watching this one on positive trading. At least you know your first target is a 50-day moving average, which at least gives you a positive trade to decide what to do next. and Sedge, SEDG. Good little breakout, doji sandwich in wave 3. EGC. The cradle, yes, was down here. So once you know your uptrend's in progress, now you go to your other analysis. J-hook patterns and telling you that the uptrend is in progress. IMMR, this is your best or your message. When they gap it up, the message today was the profit taking of Friday was over. Look for more upside. Was Sedge a kicker signal on the breakout? Well, not quite. Nah, not really a kicker signal. But again, your spinning top doji gap up through this resistance level. Remember, a kicker signal consists of a reasonably big bearish candle and then a reasonably big bullish candle. Otherwise, it's whatever else you want to call it, a doji gap up. And CNX, another one that's come up through the T-line with a T-line crunch, should be more upside. CPG, J-hook pattern in progress. Notice what reversed it. There's your hammer signal, bullish confirmation. ABCD, look what happened at the end of this flat trading. A long-legged doji had decent volume today. Look for positive trading on this one tomorrow. And BIDA was setting up. There's your fry pan bottom. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. Kind of telling you got a fry pan bottom breakout. Now on the short side, there's your left-right combo. This is on Dine Brands. Left, kind of a little wedge, bearish left-right combo. They could take this all the way back down here or even further. V-Ray. That's your big belt hold, bearish belt hold. This one is probably going to come back at least to this level, if not lower, since you're in a downtrend. Yeah, ABCD is one of the educational companies. And MODN, there's your big reversal. This one has the prospects of coming back down to the 200. Soda, there's your bearish J-hook pattern failure at the 50. That has the prospects of heading all the way back down to the 200. And then Wabe looks like it's got a bearish scoop pattern. Oh, Jim, can you help Grisella? Screen frozen. Okay, so for tomorrow, I anticipate there might be some profit taking. But you want to watch to see where the profit taking might occur. Oops. But I would suspect if they were going to do profit taking, either back to the T-line and or the 50. All right. I guess that's about all I got for tonight. I don't see anything in the big stocks other than Tesla looking, relatively weak. Heading back lower. So with that, are there any general questions on candlesticks? Also, keep in mind, when we rescheduled, we had to reschedule, I think, on the weekend of the 1st and 2nd for the Triple T training, which is very informative as far as how to use the T-line and the 3T line in conjunction with the other moving averages to enhance the probabilities that your signals are working. Yes, the indexes are all a little bit indecisive today. This a little bit bigger. So as you can see in your NASDAQ, they gapped up and opened, traded up and traded lower at the end of the day. Does a confirmation have to be a green candle, or can it be a red candle if it opened higher and still closed above the previous? No, John, no, that's the whole point of having the added visual analysis to say that if they open this higher and traded it up and then traded it back below the open, you could tell there was selling going on. Even though today the NASDAQ was up 8.5, we can see that there was weakness in that trading today because they did come back down through the open. So that's the advantage we have with candlestick signals, is to see what investor sentiment was doing during the day and what type of signal it created. Does anybody know what link to hit for the scan formulas for Thinkorswim for Pat? Okay, I guess Jim, go ahead and do the double line, and in 3.8 seconds do the next double line. Jill, that's a nice fry pan bottom. You can buy this one on Positive Trading with the prospect of coming up here to fill the gap, which would be coinciding with the 200-day moving average. That one's not coming up. Blue, FAS, left-right combo, bearish engulfing. Look for some profit taking on weakness tomorrow. The Russell, kind of the same scenario. Notice where it's done this spinning top. Right at the same level, it did a left-right combo over here. So, again, kind of adding to the prospect of seeing some profit taking here in the next few days. Blue Apron, if you like this one, I don't know what that is. You've got the classic going on, fry pan bottom J-hook. So if you're buying on Positive Trading tomorrow, you just use the T-line as your stop. It shouldn't come back through there. Another one, make sure your volume is good on this, but you can observe the obvious. Your Morningstar signals smack dab off the T-line. Weatherford, you can stay long, but observe the obvious. Watch to see what it does at the 200-day moving average. VICL, shooting star, Be ready to take profits as they start trading this one lower tomorrow. And that will also kind of be a function of whether they bring the whole market, open it lower. MYND, stay long. However, wave 1 and wave 3 looks approximately the same, and you're right at the 200-day moving average. This would be a case where if they open this lower tomorrow, I take my profits, but then I just put a buy stop just above today's high. If it comes back up through that level, it tells me the profit taking at the 200's over, and they're still taking it higher. Not so much a scoop. Nah, that's more of a Morningstar signal. And it kind of ran into resistance here at the 50. So, I mean, that would be a stretch to call it a scoop pattern. That's more of the Morningstar. Doesn't matter though; it's still a good buy signal. ARWR. Stay long, but you have a dark cloud up here. Pick a spot down here. It needs to open and trade positive. I definitely would not want to see it come back down through today's low. Sears Holding. That gapped up. I guess are they selling off Whirlpool? Which, unfortunately, if they sell that off, they've pretty much sold off the last of their assets that bring people in the store. Helix, you can stay long on this one, but as you can see, it's a little bit soggy up here. It has to open positive and stay positive above the T-line. LRN. This one, after the big breakout, it really didn't confirm. It has to have a strong day tomorrow, otherwise I'd close it out and then just put a buy stop at the 1560 level, telling me they have broken out to the upside. Cassie has to open positive, otherwise it's going to be coming back down through the T-line. ARDX, you can stay long on this one. Watch to see what happens once you get to the 200-day moving average. And CNAT, that's a nice fry pan bottom. You can stay long on this one. HQY, all you can do with this one is stay with it, as long as it stays above the T-line. And BKNG, that's AJ, if you're short, you can stay short, but it definitely needs to break this level right here. If this opened positive and I was short, I'd probably close it out, telling you they're not taking it down. Sanchez, stay long on this one. Ever since kind of your little abandoned baby down here, now your doji sandwich. First target should be the 200-day moving average. AEZS, another Morningstar type signal. Boy, you definitely need to see this trade positive, but watch closely at what happens once it gets to the 200. Home Depot, stay long. You're not going to make a whole heck of a lot of money, but it's heading in the right direction. We did SRCI, stay long, but if this opens lower, anticipate it's coming back to test the T-line like over here. SPWR is nothing yet. If you're long, based upon this move, it has to open positive. If it opens lower tomorrow, you can see the trajectory is pretty well disappeared. Move on to something else. ARDX, look for it to head to the 200. PRTA, another one that you can stay long as it stays above the T-line. And fossil, same scenario. Now you have a doji up here. I would probably pick a spot like yesterday or Friday's open. If it comes down through there, it's likely they're heading back to test the T-line. KMR. KMR, just not working, Tim, sorry. HRTX, that's a little scoop or a J-hook type pattern, scoop type pattern. All you can do here is stay long as it stays above the T-line. That was HRTX. Yeah, I'd look to see what happened to VMW. There's a bearish engulfing in the overbought area. If it opens lower, they're coming back to test the T-line. So if you're long, you pretty much want to see this open positive and trade positive to stay in the uptrend. Kiva, nice little gap breakout. Stay long. I'd have a safety stop at today's open. Mavis, Microvision. Another one where you just stay long as it stays above the T-line. XPO, having trouble up here. You can see how you have kind of a shooting star. Here's one that if it opened lower, I'd close it out, because that was telling you that this top of this, what we call a spreading pattern, is in progress. Now, a spreading pattern is easy to identify because it's all visual. If this is 0.1 and 0.2 is below 0.1, 0.3 is above 0.1, 0.4 is below 0.2, and then 0.5 is above 0.3, but you can see how this is spreading, which means they've run out of steam. That usually implies there could be a big, huge move to the downside. And that's usually the result of a spreading pattern. Boston. Up there's your shooting star, bearish Harami. If you're long, if this opens lower tomorrow, you close it out immediately. You got your sell signals up here. And ABBV, all you can do here is stay long, kind of your J-hook pattern breakout. You're in the gap area. I would suspect your next target is around the 112, 113 level. V-cell, just a slow, steady uptrend. You just stay with it as long as it stays above the T-line. Cliffs, another one that's done a shooting star, bearish engulfing. If this opens lower, you take profits. They're probably coming back to the T-line. These are sell signals. Iron Mountain, if you're short, you stay short on this one. And Zenga, another one where all you can do here is stay long, but you have to watch. Let me make sure this is. You have to watch that resistance level. VCVEL. Nothing. BIDU. Yes, look where it's occurring. On BIDU. This opens lower. Anticipate they're coming back to test the T-line, which also tells you they've failed at this level. B cell, you just hang on to. Don't let it close back below the T line. UNH, it's kind of broken out. You can stay long on this one, but if I was long, I wouldn't want to see it close below the halfway point of this candle, because that would put you right back into that trading range. Yeah, 3.8 seconds. Just figuring everybody can get whatever they need typed in and within 3.8 seconds. Sometimes on a bigger night, when more people, it might take 4.2 seconds. That's right. They're all hidden Fibonacci's. URS not coming up. Arley. That's not a real vivacious chart. Boy, I wouldn't be long or short. There's just no direction. Avis, another one that I probably wouldn't be short because of the bullish Harami, telling us they're bouncing back up to the T-line. I'm in the oversold area. I would have covered the short position. I just wouldn't be going long just yet. And we did Zynga. DQ. One second of Dairy Queen. You can stay long or you can go long if it opens positive, breaking this downward channel, kind of a flattish fry pan bottom. Tiva, gap up, look for a 45 degree off of here. Megaphone, yeah, I call it a spreading pattern, yes, like a backwards. And BIIB, same scenario as Labu. Stay long on this one. And Guild. Guild, you can get ready to buy. It's not one of your best charts, but you can kind of factor if they fill the gap right here, you're coming up and testing this level. TripAdvisor. Big shooting star, another one that I'd put a sell stop just below today's low. If it came down through there, it's confirming. I think we did AUBH, AUPH. Stay long until you see a sell signal. Keep my long puts on Hain. Yeah, stay short. All right. Had a big, I can't imagine what some of these weddings must cost anymore. I'm sure they spent $250,000 for the number of people that were there and all the food we had. What did I do? See, yeah. But I did have my my Chinese buddy who said his wife said to him the other night, "What about we do a little 69 before we go to sleep tonight?" And he said, "Why would I want to have Mongolian beef and broccoli that late at night?" SP, I have no idea what the hot stops are doing. Yeah, the only reason I would be attracted to them is if they were doing good bullish signals. OKTA, notice when it did a bearish signal, it came right back to the T-line. Yeah, we were, so when we were driving back, we got hard rains on the way back coming across the turnpike. And I was getting tired, and he said, "You be careful," because we understand that something like 90% of all automobile accidents happen within 2 miles of your house. So I moved. Goog, same scenario. Got kind of a shooting star doji. See if it's going to come back to test the T-line. Blue's having a hard time getting up through the 50. So use the T-line as your stop. It shouldn't come down through there. On the other hand, if it holds on the T-line, look for your bobble breakout. And CVGI, same scenario. You can be going long, or you can wait for it to get up through the 200-day moving average. OLED, just stay long as it stays above the T-line. Not anything wild and exciting, but heading in the right direction. Freeport, you can see it's had a hard time getting up through the 200. If it opens lower tomorrow, if I was long, I'd close it out, but then I'd watch to see what it does at the T-line to see whether you've got a bobble breakout set up. And CELG came back down through the T-line. So here's a perfect example. Or maybe it didn't. Let's see. That's because I'm colorblind. No, that was a green candle. So you had your doji, your hammer, bullish confirmation. You can be buying this one. You're not going to make a whole heck of a lot of money with this one, but at least right now, if it opens positive, it's probably heading up to the 50-day moving average. And target, stay long, see if it's going to break out through this level. Boyd, another one you could stay long on the J-hook pattern. Tesla, yes, you stay short on this one. Oh, well, yeah, I just have the 34 on, yeah, Tesla. I just have the 34 on here because, as you can see, it has a little bit of relevancy to it. Workday, notice where it came to after the bearish engulfing signal, right smack dab to the T-line. So that's where you kind of observe the obvious. That's what's usually going to happen. When you have a reversal and they pull back, they're usually going to come right back to the T-line. So there's your left-right combo. If you didn't close it out right here, coming down through the bottom of the doji, and you held on to it, it has to stay above the T-line at this point. First Solar. Oh, pshaw, what did I just do there? Get it, I guess. First Solar, another one that if they open lower, they're coming back to test the T-line and the 50. CRZO, stay long, have your safety stop just below this level. Adobe, there's your hanging man, your doji, bearish engulfing, that's probably coming back. Left-right combo is a indecisive trading day, a doji followed by a bearish engulfing signal, or on the bullish side, a doji followed by a bullish engulfing signal. LPHT, you can stay long on this one if you're long, because it needed to hold on the T line. I wouldn't be a buyer until it comes up through the 50. All right, 3 more, and then we'll call it a night. PRVN, that you can be buying on positive trading as long as it stays above the T line. Labu, we did. That's how we started out with this telling us the biotechs are acting well again. GE, nothing wild and exciting. If you like it, you can hang on to it. You're not going to make very much money with GE. Caesars, there's your bobble breakout. That I wouldn't be afraid to buy on positive trading tomorrow. Your J-hook bobble breakout. And BABA, all you can do here is stay long as it stays above the T line. Garden, stay short. Anticipate. You can kind of observe the obvious. Your downtrending channel is probably your next target. I think we did Tesla, didn't we? Tesla, you just stay short. With anticipation it should come back down to the bottom of the channel. Okay, still some good charts out there. I'd watch ABCD. When you do a long-legged doji like this, it's telling you there's a lot of indecision, but now if they confirm that signal, you should have a lot more upside. And I'm looking at something like soda as being the bearish J-hook pattern that could take you all the way back down to the 200-day moving average. Oh boy, did we... Rig's having a hard time getting through here. I would have my safety stop right here. But obviously you want to see it get up through the top of the resistance level right now. In Chem, there's your shooting star. There's your left-right combo. If this opened lower tomorrow and I was long, I'd close it out immediately. Okay. Kind of a short session tonight, but the anticipation is with the indexes, unless the indexes open up and start trading positive tomorrow, I'd be more apt to think that they're, with the little doji or the shooting star doji gap up in the Dow, that you might expect some profit taking. All right, everybody. We'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow. Let's see. The Russell had a bearish engulfing. Not quite a bear. It doesn't look like a bearish engulfing. Looks like it opened slightly lower than the close and closed. But it did do a spinning top right here at this level. So I'd still suspect if it opens weaker tomorrow, there's profit taken in the markets. And PTN, you can get ready to buy this one on positive trading with your doji sandwich breakout. Tim, yeah, sometimes that happens, where depending on where they show something opened, the feed is a little bit different. ECYT, you can see what's happening there. You had kind of a bearish engulfing signal today. If it opens lower, probably coming back to test the T-line, which means I would close it out. But because even if it came back to the T-line and held, you can see that the strength is starting to diminish. Oh boy, if they brought it back down to the T-line, they'd have to hold to indicate they're still in an uptrend. Otherwise, might be in a channel right now. See if I can do this. Oh, I hate when I do that. You got this channel potential. What is your expectation for this week? Oh, from all indications right now, I'm guessing there might be some pullback, and that will be a function of how they open it tomorrow. The Russell usually leads the way up and down. No, not really. The Russell kind of moves in the direction of the NASDAQ. It's the transportation index that usually gives you a little bit better indication of what the markets are going to do. And as you can see, they're having a hard time getting through this level right here. Rick, yeah, he could be. That's why it will be important to see how they open these markets tomorrow. Okay, everybody, get a good night's sleep. We'll see you bright and early in the morning. We'll see you then.